High school, where a lot of students turn from adolescents to adults. When should teens start taking on this role of becoming an adult? That is, when should teens start getting their own jobs? Is it now in high school? Is it later in college? Even after they graduate from college? This week's This Matter of Life reports. Should students have jobs?
At age 15 to 16, students can begin to be employed with a working permit. Although the number of occupations is somewhat limited, the typical student job is as a cashier or checkout. The number of students with jobs is growing rapidly. In 2010, about 66% of high school students had jobs versus the mere 40% in 1980. But is it the right time for students to begin taking this extra responsibility?
I work for Opera St. Jose as a backup dancer.
I've been working at Garrett's for 4 years now, and I take care of horses, and I'm a trail guide on the weekends. It's taught me to manage my money better. I pay for all my own food, my gas, all my own stuff, which is kind of annoying sometimes. I have learned to be responsible.
And I think I've learned, especially when you're at a job, you have to be taken very seriously. So you have to learn how to be professional around other people. You have to learn to cooperate with others because a lot of times you have to compromise in real life and when you're working and at school. It does take a lot of time.
The downsides of my job, sometimes I have to deal with people who aren't very nice or people who don't listen to me. It takes away a lot of my time for doing other stuff, and I have less free time, but it's worth it because I love horses.
So in high school, my first job was at Baskin Robbins, was an ice cream store, right? And after that, school didn't really go to.
I think students having a job is pretty good because they get experience outside of school, so they get to work with other people and get a taste of reality outside of school. It gives them more responsibility, so it kind of trains them and they get to earn money, which is good.
With commitments like sports and music lessons and stuff, the most important thing is to get your work done and to keep up in school.
I think having a job while school is in session, I think you just have to be very careful as a parent and actually help them manage their time. But sometimes the money might look really enticing, but it's probably not always the best option.
And overall, I think there are some days that get really stressful because you're not sure which one to prioritize. You're not sure, should I get my schoolwork done first, or does my job come first, because I'm still trying to get an education.
So the benefit to having a job is, of course, making sure that you're starting to become more independent, which means you're doing things on your own.
When my kids have babysat, they generally take homework with them, so they get the kids to bed and then they can do some homework.
According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, students who worked 1 hour to 20 hours a week got better grades than those who did not work. What could explain this? Working took away time and energy, so how could it improve their grades? Dan Crabtree, college and career counselor at Wheaton Academy in Illinois, explains, "We want our students to establish a healthy balance in life and work to maintain it throughout their lives. Students who have a job and academics to take care of must learn to manage both without being overwhelmed." So it all comes down to this: should students have jobs? There are many pros and cons to having a job. A job can help students learn time management and responsibility, which the students will need to have in the future. However, working at a job also takes away from time that we can use for education and also downtime. Working too many hours a week can cut into time required for sleeping and other necessities. How many hours you can work without negatively impacting your academics depends on how much time you're able to spend on a job. For every student, that is different because every student has a different workload. Working while attending school is not for everyone, but for those who have the ability to balance work and school at the same time, it can be beneficial.